baseline of adult life operates on a non-negotiable contract, the trade of finite human hours for currency. This chart tracks global income against perceived time scarcity. Over recent decades, as incomes have steadily risen across developed nations, the feeling of being starved for time has sharply spiked right alongside them. Cultural conditioning views work primarily as an engine for consumption. We trade hours for a paycheck, then use that paycheck to purchase goods, requiring us to return to work to afford the next cycle. This economic loop rarely yields freedom. Higher earnings often just upgrade the tier of consumption, substituting basic needs for more expensive forms of busyness. Surplus cash in a typical middle-class household is frequently absorbed by depreciating consumer goods. New vehicles, granite countertops, and designer clothing fill the home. These items lose a noticeable percentage of their sticker price the moment they are purchased. Despite the drop in value, they require continuous physical maintenance, property taxes, and interest payments to sustain. This graphic illustrates the academic concept of time poverty. After a massive block of the day is claimed by paid work, the remaining hours are aggressively consumed by the unpaid labor required to maintain those possessions. Traditional monetary poverty lines failed to account for this deficit. They calculate the cash needed for basic commodities, but ignore the hours of unpaid labor required to transform those commodities into a functioning household, like cooking, cleaning, and caregiving. This creates a dual-layered trap. You exhaust your paid hours to afford the lifestyle, and then exhaust your unpaid hours maintaining it. It is possible to hold a six-figure salary and sit in the statistical middle class while operating with a complete bankruptcy of time. Wealthy individuals invert this mindset. As entrepreneur Alex Hormozi observes, the poor buy stuff, while the wealthy buy time. This is achieved through leverage, the architectural detachment of personal income from physical labor. Consider capital allocation. A working-class household drains cash through a primary residence, while wealthy investors acquire multi-unit properties for monthly checks. New cars shed value. Dividend stocks sit quietly and grow. Smartphones fade, but building software pays royalties for years. Upper-class wealth stems from engineering a financial ecosystem that generates cash flow entirely without the owner's physical presence. A field experiment by Harvard Business School researchers documented this principle. They found that working adults reported higher daily happiness when they spent $40 on a time-saving service instead of a material good. Buying back your time requires a force multiplier. This comes in the form of high-income skills, like direct sales, systems architecture, or AI integration. This equation shows the mechanical advantage of outsourcing. If your time generates $100 an hour, paying a service $25 for administrative drudgery leaves you with a net profit of $75 and an hour of reclaimed freedom. Capital, used this way, functions as a tool for the literal repurchase of your own lifespan. This mechanical approach to wealth fuels the financial independence movement. Recently, the philosophy behind early retirement has shifted away from extreme, punishing frugality. The original target was to cut every non-essential expense to exit the workforce as quickly as possible. Yet enduring years of strict deprivation often resulted in a different kind of misery and burnout. The modern objective has shifted toward lifestyle fire. The goal is the creation of a work-optional life. By covering baseline expenses with asset yields, individuals can pivot toward passion projects, part-time work, or entrepreneurship, insulated from the threat of financial ruin. This state of independence provides the absolute authority to dictate how each day is spent. A psychological trap is built into the relentless pursuit of wealth. Philosopher Alan Watts called it the backwards law, the observation that desperately wanting positive experiences is in itself a negative experience. Fixating entirely on acquiring a better title or a larger home makes us painfully aware of what we currently lack. The pursuit deepens a sense of inadequacy. Accepting the full spectrum of the human experience, including struggle and dissatisfaction, reduces internal conflict and creates genuine peace. Mindfully engaging with your own life requires space. You cannot embrace the full human experience while being crushed by a mandatory, exhausted schedule. A calendar you control is the highest yielding asset in a modern economy. Knowing that every hour belongs to you is the final measure of wealth.